So I've had a busy few days because my parents came over on Tuesday, and we went to my granny's birthday party. Um, her birthday's in August, and it was actually more of an 80th birthday because her 80th birthday was during COVID, and we didn't get around to doing it, so it was kind of like 2 years late. But anyway, I it was a good evening. It's kind of a reminder that I don't. There's a lot of Christians out there, and I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this date, and I know that I sound crazy, and you know, I don't sound good when I date set only to find that nothing happens. And I kind of woke up a few months ago again, like another awakening, and I was convinced that something was going to happen this year. And okay, something if something could happen tomorrow, but I don't think there's enough signs. I feel like when I do get on to I know it ends. My tribulation ends with me being on Big Brother, me telling the world that I'm God. But I feel like it's more than that. I feel like I actually need to like connect with this show, and right now I haven't. And I just, you know, I mean, technically, I believe there's enough people who know about me, and there's enough people who have enough money to just put the show on and start. But, I feel like things happen for a reason, and I feel like the show Big Brother in UK has come offline. I felt like because they knew that I was really pissed off about how I wanted to be on that show, and I'm not. And every time I watch that show when I'm not on it, it's horrible because I know that I could change the world if only I get onto that show and tell people that I'm Christ. And um, yeah, it's really really frustrating for that show to run and for me to not be on it. So I know it's coming on next year. I really, really hope that I don't have to wait another year. I'm really hoping that you do just sort of come out of nowhere and just say, "Okay, we're ready for you now. We can promote you." I feel like the Feast of Trumpets is it's supposed to be when the angels make an announcement about the coming of Christ. Now, this is a confusing message because I know that the world isn't going to really want me as Christ, and they're going to rather that a lot of people are seeking Jesus, and so I was kind of hoping that maybe, and also there's possibility of two dates being the Feast of Trumpets because it's the first day of the seventh, so the first day of the seventh month, or at least the first 2 days is the Feast of Trumpets, and you know I feel like in July the first was actually wasn't really the first or second. It was more like within the first 2 weeks. I had a slow awakening, and that's when I started believing in 2013. The first 2 weeks of July, I slowly started seeing more and more evidence. Started recording the evidence, writing it down, and believing more and more that I was God and or Christ, should I say, and accepting it. And you know, I had so much evidence and I was so convinced. The problem is no one was helping me, and then I started seeing people do songs about me or according to what I was saying. It was just horrible. It was really, really horrible, and I don't think they know how horrible it was because I wasn't living a good life. But yeah, the Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, is actually supposed to be like a 10-day feast, and I don't know why I've had to be ignored for 10 years. It doesn't make any sense. The whole aspect of people knowing that I'm God and ignoring me for 10 years. If I say that to anyone, they would think that I'm crazy. And it's really frustrating because my sister is definitely one of those people um, who would think that I'm crazy because of the thinking that people believe that I'm Christ and yet not talking to me. I mean, I'm trying to explain to her that that's part of the sacrifice. And Christ wasn't here to have a good, happy life. He was here to be some sort of sacrifice. But anyway, I'm I want it to be over, and I really don't want to have to wait another year. But at the end of the day, I don't have the means to create a show and put myself on it, and I obviously can't help myself in any way because if I could have helped myself, I would have done that by now. I don't have wealth, I don't have money, I don't have anyone talking to me or anyone helping me in any way, and it's really really frustrating. But I things happen for a reason. I just have to I have to accept the fact that this has happened for a reason. And I have to accept that the people are ignoring me for a reason, which I believe it's because I'm inspiring things that happened in the past. And for some reason, I need to do it when people are ignoring me. I don't understand why you can't come to me, and I can still do it. But um, if you're ignoring me for a reason, it's probably because you believe that I can only do it when people are ignoring me. And yes, it's very frustrating. But yeah, I don't know when it's going to end. But is it? I don't think there's enough evidence or proof to say that's going to happen anytime soon. Like I really don't. I don't feel it. Like if I felt it, people would be. I think what I'm waiting for is for Big Brother to contact me, or for there to be a Big Brother that's I audition for, or you know like, go to some sort of audition and say, hey, I'm not even going to be trying very hard to get onto that show because I'm fed up of waiting this long, and I know that it's something I need to be on rather than something I want to be on any longer. I wanted to be on it years ago, but now I feel like I need to be on it because that's the only way people can get to know me, and that's the only way I can test people as to whether or not they are able to believe in me. And I yeah. Um, and so if it's not this year, it's next year, and I don't know when it is, but I will be paying attention to the things being posted about the show. If that show comes on screen and I'm not on it and I don't go through get through the audition process or whatever, I'm going to be so bloody pissed off. That's all I can say. I'd be very, very pissed off if nothing happens. But yeah, I don't like the idea of waiting a year. But at the end of the day, I didn't like waiting 10 years either, and that seems to be maybe what it is. I mean, I'm hoping it'll be 9 years. Technically, 10 years is next summer, but at the same time, if I do go into a Big Brother show, I'll probably only be in there for like 40 days, maybe longer, maybe shorter. I don't think shorter, but yeah, I won't be in there for very long, and then I will be going into hiding for a long time because I feel like the whole point of the Feast of Trumpets is for singers, celebrities, or whatever to start to make an announcement that Christ is coming. And I think it's going to be done via people saying that, Christ is here and she's going to be on the Big Brother show. And it can't just be a UK one. I think it's going to be something that's going to be on Netflix or something that's worldwide, a show where everyone can tune into it. I think that would be important that there would be lots of Americans in there, so that way America could get involved because there's a lot of religious people in America and they mostly speak English. So that's a target market that I really need. But yeah, whether this Feast of Trumpets is July the 1st or if it's sometime in September according to the Hebrew calendar. I don't want to follow the Hebrew calendar at all, but at the end of the day, it's not me who's organizing it. It's the sort of God the Father character that everyone seems to love to worship, which is just world leaders. They're the ones that need to be involved in this, because I'm pretty sure it's going to involve faking my death, and there might be a lot of people that call the police, and um, so they need to know that it's not real. But I don't know what's going to happen. I know I can't be the one that organizes it. So I really hope it is this year, but I don't know. I don't know if it will be because I feel like I'm missing that link with the show. The show has to actually be on. The show has to actually have some sort of audition process. Like I'd love to skip the audition process, but I think there needs to be, rumors or some sort of record that it is actually coming on, and then the candidates get selected, or someone contacts me and says, "Hi, you're in the final, 500," and then a month later, "Oh, you're in the top 100." Um, be prepared to call, and then I get an actual call saying, "Pack your bags." That's. I feel like that would be the build up that I'm waiting for, and because I'm not getting any of that now, I'm really skeptical as to whether anything is going to happen this year, and it's frustrating if nothing happens this year, um, because I look stupid when I make predictions that don't happen, and I know that, um, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to end this as much as I can. I feel like being optimistic towards something that's going to end soon, is better for my health, but it's not better for my health if nothing happens, because I feel like I'm just constantly putting my life on pause. You know, I still don't know what to do, work wise or anything. Like, I I don't want to earn money just to find that I am going to just be Christ in a few years, and then have a bunch of people who've made billions of pounds off me be like, here's enough money to live off, and then I'll look back to all the clients that I said and think, oh, I didn't need to do that. But at the end of the day, if I don't do that, then what am I doing? And I'm just doing nothing. And I kind of want to have a miserable life. I feel like I hate this world, and I feel like I don't want to have a good life until I've sorted what's going on. I've got this huge amount of belief, and I can't talk to anyone about it because no one believes me. Or maybe I found two people now who believe me, but no one else does. And everyone else I would talk to would just assume would talk to me like I'm insane, when everything that I'm saying is not insane. When it's like, I was talking to my sister about it, and all she could say is, "Oh yeah, that happened to me. I went into shops and I thought that someone was, you know, finding my location. And every time I walk into a charity shop and hear some music, I felt like they deliberately was putting on certain songs for me." It's just like, oh no, this is why she went crazy, because she started thinking, she heard about what I was going through, and she started doing the same, but thinking everything applies to her rather than actually seeing truth in me. And then she would just be like, "Oh, nothing you say makes any sense." And I was like, "Yeah, I said that Beyonce was my, you know, false god representation, and now she's written a whole song where she's posing up as a god." And we're like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense." I was like, "Well, it does make sense, because I've said something and she's gone and done it. So why would that not make sense?" But I don't know. People are just so frustrating, and I don't want to have a happy life here until I know that the people who know about me come forward with what they know and tell the world. And I can't enjoy life here. I don't want to enjoy life here until this release of what I've been going through is been revealed to people, and so that I don't feel like anytime I talk to someone about it, they're just going to think that I'm crazy or a lunatic, or someone that just isn't talking any sense, when actually everything I'm saying makes sense. And they're trying to take all the problems that are on them, and "Oh, you're not understanding, oh, you're not making sense." Really, they're not making sense by saying that this doesn't make sense. But it's really, really frustrating. And I'm writing, I'm writing about trying to write about dates. And I know Feast of Trumpets would be a key date, but is it a key date for my ascension, or is it a key date for the Justin Bieber kind of ascension? But at the end of the day, Justin Bieber is not going to come forth and say, "I think I'm God." That's not what he's going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Only I in the world will actually sit on the throne and say, "You know what? There's none above me. There's no God above me." Like, you'd have to be a complete crackpot to be willing to do that. And either that, or be certain that you're right. And I am certain that I'm right. So I know that I am the Antichrist, because a lot of people won't believe what I'm saying, but I will be willing to sit on a throne and say, "Yeah, I am God. There is none above me." But no one would ever, even the biggest arrogant person in the world would probably not be willing to do that. But I am. So but yeah, does that mean that I'm the one that gets announced on Feast of Trumpets? And does that mean Feast of Trumpets is July the 1st, or is it, on the Hebrew calendar? And I just don't know. But I'm keeping an eye on the Big Brother announcements, and I know Emma Willis said that she's probably not going to be in the next Big Brother. Um, and I don't know. Like, I definitely think Ryland should be. But yeah, if what's going to happen, is about the Antichrist rising, maybe Emma isn't the perfect person for it. Like, I guess someone who should present it should be someone who, either someone who, like Christ herself, is saying, I want that person. I can understand why Ryland would want to, if I'm saying that I want him on there. But yeah, when it comes to Emma, I don't really know if she's the right person. Like, if the people who are organizing the show want to put her on and think she's the best, then great. But if they're not sure, I'm not sure either, because I guess whoever should go on should know about religion and should have taken an interest in religion, because this is going to be like a really, really big show. It's the announcement of Christ, and it needs to be a really, really spectacular thing. And I think that person also needs to be involved in the music industry, which is why I would suggest Kylie Minogue having some involvement, because she knows a lot about the music industry. She's a good character. Um, and but yeah, I don't know who should. There could be loads of different people, I guess, but she would be someone who I think I don't know about the others. But yeah, I guess someone who knows about religion, someone who's also willing, because I feel like I might end up faking my death during it. Like I can't say what was going to happen, because it's not my show. It's not for me to determine what's going to happen. But someone needs to realize that, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people pissed off, or a lot of people thinking that I'm the Antichrist. And what presenter would want to promote something that will heavily touch on religion, or a person's religion. I don't know. So but I'm sure Rylan might, but I think he's more of a Big Brother fan. But I feel the passion that he has for that. Um, I don't necessarily think he's religious, but then I wasn't religious either. So, and I don't want to be religious, because I feel like holy people are just kind of evil people, and I don't really want to have anything to do with them. I'd rather have more fun people, or fun people who know about music as well. That's cool. And I've seen Rylan's done lots of DJing stuff and stuff. I think he likes music. But yeah, I I'm really pissed off if I have to wait another year. But I guess I can't control it.